Hello. I just got the war flag of frost today. So like a couple hours ago, I've been kind of messing with this in the guild what they call it, guild training or whatever they call it. And there's also an issue with like the description is not consistent here. It says frost every 18 seconds, frost is cast on enemies, reduce their skill levels by 2 to affect last 18 seconds. Whereas the description says this war flag has frost on enemies, reduce the hit rate of their skills. Use it in the arena during guild wars to make your hero team even stronger. Apply various patterns. Your war flags free slots to give your hero team additional buffs. You can't use more than one pattern of each type. Reducing skill levels by 2, could possibly be really good. My first thought is like, will this make it easier to land status effects on against Sebastian teams because it will lower Ode Serenity, because if it's like said, if this is only level 128, the chance to block the debuff is less than 100%, right? So it's kind of like how Polaris is good in certain situations because of the Northern Lights. You can use that against Sebastian to try to force through like status effects, because when the Northern Lights comes up, they lose like 10 skill levels, which is pretty big, but the War Flag is only a 2 skill level reduction, so it's not nearly as dramatic. But I've been messing with this line here with bunch of control heroes. We're just kind of using like heroes that won't like instantly kill the scene. So hopefully you can see like get some of the stage effects up. Like if you can see a silence or stun, like in spite of Ode Serenity, that's what we're looking for when the frost says 18 seconds. So should come up right about now. Right, see, this is the flag of frost, the snowing, that's the war flag of frost doing stuff. So look, silence landed despite Ode Serenity. We got silence landing on, we got a stun landing here. So that's what the war flag of frost does. It will give your control heroes a chance to try to force through some effects. It's not going to be very consistent though, because it's not going to be nearly as reliable as Polaris, since it's only a 2 level reduction, not a 10 level reduction. So I'm not sure how much the effect reduces by level. Like if it's 128, is that? I'm not sure how much you loses effectiveness, but it is protecting a lot more than it's not. So you're probably still, like said, against War Flag of Frost, Bastion's probably still protecting at least as well as Chorus does, and Chorus is enough to disrupt like all kinds of control effects. So I'm not sure that's going to be powerful enough to really be used against like Sebastian for a control team, but it can possibly be used. Certainly, like if you're setting up, we'll talk about, if you talk about like a Clash of Worlds, you're setting up, let's just try another, see if we get any status effects. Yep, we got some silence. Look at that, silences. Got stuns. Yeah, so look at that. It's actually helping us more than I thought it would. So it's only 2 level reduction, but maybe, I don't know if it's enough. It's probably just not quite. Okay, nothing landed on that time. That's because the frost's down. It's only, like I said, it's 18 seconds for the first one, and that's like, it only lasts 8 seconds, so. Is it better than like some of the other buffs you can get? Like that's gonna be the theme here. Yeah, obviously this team is not gonna be able to win because there's no DPS here. We're just doing this team, just kind of look at like how effective this war flag is at countering Ode to Serenity. But like, let's go talk about Clash Worlds. So there's a place where I think this might be really relevant though. Like, so if you're doing Clash of Worlds defense and you're on the engineering, because this is the control building, control heroes, like increase energy for defense teams by 4% for every control hero, right? So this could potentially be a good place to use the War Flag Frost, because you're going to get more chance for your control effects, like you're using Iraqi stuff, like, right, you can help give your control heroes on, like, you can only use War Flag once, right? So you can use this, like, if you're setting up your 3 defensive teams, you can possibly use this on, like, on your control teams. Say your Grand Arena, like, maybe you have a control line set up. You could use the War Flag of Frost as, like, the one for, like, your main control line, depending on what your lines look like. But, you might make sense to put, like, a War Flag of Frost on one of these. But yeah, like, yeah, no, that is where we want to go, right here. But, yeah. This description is a bit weird how it's described, but this is exactly what it does right here. It's lowered by 2 levels. The patterns, like, I mean, it's control heroes, you would probably want to do magic attack on one of them. just because your controllers tend to be mages, but there are some like maybe you're using Lar or something. Um, just depends on what you're running with. I think it's probably a bit better. The Swift one is just a slight increase, but yeah, most of these flags I think are pretty minor. I mean, honestly, I think the War Flag of Fervor is probably the best because tank energy gain, like I said, this has a lot of synergy with Aurora. This probably, like I said, probably the most used just because it's like 10% energy gain on tanks, like is like the one I use the most. The Pet Flag one's not too bad either because there's value here. On the War Flag one, definitely remains to be seen. It's like it's only a 2-level reduction, so it's not going to be super dramatic when it activates, and it's kind of slow for the first activation. Like you could use Polaris instead. Northern Lights a 10-level decrease, so I do think this is going to be a better fit for some teams, but it does mean a 5th hero spot. But if you don't know how to get the War Flag, though, I should talk about that. The War Flag of Frost is actually received from the War Flag gift. It's a small chance, probably about 1%. It took me a long time to get mine. Like I finally just got it, but I've traded, so I've received 312 presents so far, and most of them, like we've gotten a lot of these War Flag gifts. Probably about half of these. Look, I have more War Flag gifts. Like it took me, so it's probably about 1% chance of getting it. So you will need a few War Flag gifts to get it, but you do have a chance of getting like Explorer moves in these things. 3 times Explorer moves, not too bad. And 200 threads, not too bad either. It just kind of depends on like how much you need thread. Like if you're like me, you probably don't need a lot of thread anymore. But like I said, but if you have a new War Flag, you might want to put some patterns in it. You might need some thread to upgrade said patterns to get it where you want. And of course, we have the Ray of Conquest right now, which can get you some extra patterns and threads that way too. But yeah, like most likely they will eventually add the War Flag to the chest because I'm pretty sure they add the Swift War Flag to the chest now. So yeah, see the War Flag of Swiftness is in the chest now. So most likely, probably about 6 months or so, like I said, you'll start seeing the War Flag of Frost in one of these chests. How long, like when, I don't know, but like this chest does have the War Flag of Swiftness in there. So if you by chance have one of these chests, you might be able to do that way. But should be noted, they've been kind of nerfing the War Flag chest, so you're more likely to just get this one, just the War Flag of Fervor in it. So so keep that in mind. It might still be hard to get later. So like I said, if you can get it in Winterfest, like I said, I mean, if you're doing your daily exchanges, you're probably going to get, like I said, it's probably about 1% drop rate, but not too much more to say on the War Flag of Frost. Like I said, it could be useful for control teams, but it remains to be seen. But if you want to know more about the Winterfest, you can find out more in my video down below. As always, thanks for watching.